Hi, in this video I want to show you how to actually create Goa Trance for beginners, how to start, what to do if you just want to start making music. For example, maybe you are DJ and you want to go step further and you want to start producing. So in this video I want to show you everything what you need to know how to start making Goa Trance. So in the beginning, what we have to use to actually create music, we need DAW, we need our workstation. In my case, I'm using Ableton Live. I'm going to add Ableton Live link so you can download it for free and use it for 30 days. Suite version, which is the best and the highest version of Ableton Live. And if you like it, then you can decide maybe you can buy it or not. Okay, so now we are in Ableton Live, and what actually is going on here? Here we have workstation, and I will just very quick show you what we have. Here we have our instrument, our effects, our MIDI effects, our plugins, our samples. So everything here is actually our library of effects, of our samples and instruments. Here we have session view and here we have arrangement view. So here you can work and build, for example, you can build a draft of your track, or you can even create live performance, live act here. So you can make clips and you can play them live. Okay, and here in this section we actually creating our arrangement. So entire track you need to create here, and then you can render it into the track. Here what you can see, we have MIDI files and we have audio files. So MIDI files are actually the files where you can create melodies, you can make notes, and audio files actually represent audio. So as you can see, you can add audio samples like so, and you cannot do the same thing with MIDI. So that's why you need to know what both of them are. And the last thing here is actually aux channel. They are return tracks. So in the return tracks, you can add some effects, and then you can easily, if you go here, if I will close in and out, we have sends. So they are our sends. So for example, if I will have some loop, let me check. For example, let's just take this loop, maybe this one. So we have this loop, and if I will, for example, I have reverb in the send, I can send the signal from this reverb here, and we got reverb. Sends are very, very handy if you have a lot of different tracks, and for example, you want to apply some reverb. You don't need to add from here. You don't need to add every time new reverb here. You can easily just blend with the send. Okay, so I can't show you every single parameter, every single effect, every single feature of Ableton Live, because it will take too much time to actually say in the video. Next very important thing is the tempo. So every single genre, it has its own tempo. In Goa Trance, we use tempo between 100, let's say 38 till 150, even 5 or even higher sometimes. But the most, let's say, regular tempo is 145. It's actually very similar to Psytrance. So if you will choose 145, 142, 147, it will be all good. So in music production, we have few elements which has to be done to actually get track, the song. So first element is percussion. I mean about snares, hi-hats, bongos, toms, crashes, and so on, and also kicks. Second element is bassline. Bassline is our the low frequencies. So we need to have always percussion, so kick and percussion plus bass. So this is our must-have actually in the track. Another third element is actually leads, melodies, harmony. So these elements which also must be done to get very good song track. And fourth element, which is optional, there are actually vocals or speech. In Goa Trance, we mostly use speech, like from movies. We sample some speech from movies, and we like to add them in the track. The fifth element is actually effects. So everything which will fill our arrangement in some sound effects, like risers, like impacts, squelches, air, or anything like this. All right, so now we're gonna start with percussion, and if you don't have any samples, you can find them on my store, jaralucastudio.com. They are available also for free in the free download section. I will put the link down below. Let's jump into Ableton. Okay, so now we have empty Ableton project, and so I would like to start with kick. That's always what I do. So first of all, I'm going to choose my free sample pack. It's a Goa Trance Starter Pack 2 kicks. Okay, and I will choose this one. If I will double click, it will automatically open my kick drum in Simpler. Simpler is one of the instruments, sample instrument in Ableton Live. So here I don't want to, spend much time to explain you this, but if you will double click here, we are in session view. If you'll double click, and if you will add on C3, which is root note of every sample is C3. That's another lesson for today. So now I will also take volume a little bit lower, maybe to -6 now. Okay, maybe a bit higher so you can hear it a little bit better. Okay, so now we have kick. So if you don't want to make this complicated, just add 4x4 kick, like so. So now we can hit Control and R, and then you can change the name of this track, or you can right click and rename, and you can call it kick. Okay, so next thing, what we're gonna need is snare or clap, doesn't matter. So now let's go here, and I will choose maybe this one. So I will double click, and now we're gonna have kick and snare. So here also C3 and snares, they're also always hit on the second kick and the fourth kick. So look. So now we have very, very simple beat. So percussion is a very, very important instrument in music, because it's actually give us the rhythm. So you can basically do many different kind of rhythms. You don't have to do like I do. You can always try and see how it goes. Just don't be afraid to experiment. Like for example, this is how we do the rhythm. So you can, for example, right click, duplicate. So now we're gonna have another pattern. And if you will duplicate here, so here we have some options for our MIDI. There are a lot of different options, and you need to check them by yourself, because it's going to take too much time. And here you can also add some all random notes and try to change velocity. Velocity is basically volume of each MIDI. So here, this MIDI has 127. So velocity also represents how hard you will hit the key on the keyboard. So this is how you can manipulate the volume of each MIDI note. Look. So if you will move them, you will get different rhythm. Look, for example, like so. So that's very, very important. Okay, so now let's come back to the previous and regular version. So now we have kick and snare. So let's call it Control and R, snare. Okay, next thing what we can do, we can go and, for example, you can go to this pack, percussion loops, and we can add, for example, this one. If you will put it here, you will play it. Then we have nice rhythmic pattern. Okay, so this will be our perc loop. And what is very important also in terms of our first element, which is percussion, we need hats, open hats and closed hats. They're very, very important. So if I'm aware that my packs, free packs, they are limited, but I also have full packs on my store if you want to get them. But if you don't want to spend money in the beginning, I understand, and just try to find on internet free sample packs, and then you will for sure find good free sample packs with, for example, 909 or 707 samples. From Roland, for example, Roland percussion synthesizer. Okay, so for example, now if you will have your samples, then you will be able to go into sample library here, and you can go and put open hat. If you will add it here, you can if you're gonna change this, you will change the volume of this library here. See? So I will do something like this, and then I need to choose some open hat. Oh, let's choose this one. And now I can double click, and now I'm opening the MIDI. And what I can do here, look, I will show you how easily draw open hats. So here, this is how our kick drum hits. So it's like this. Okay, so it doesn't work. We need to add it on the offbeat. So offbeat means in the middle. So we have to add it always on the third note here, third note here. So you can just select all of them and move them like so. So as you can see, is 113, 112, 113, 133, 143. So check this out. So now we have the rhythm. Open hats help us to create nice right drive. Okay, and another one, what we're gonna need, I also add MIDI clip. You need to just right click and insert MIDI clip, and then we need to find closed hi-hat, closed hat. I will choose this one, double click, and now what you can do here with the closed hat is very, very easy. You can, for example, just right click, turn on draw mode. You will get this kind of pencil, and you will be able to draw it like so. And now they are on 100% velocity, right? So it will sound like this. Not very fancy. But here in Ableton, we have very nice feature, which is randomize. So you can hit randomize when all our MIDI notes are selected. And then, as you can see, Ableton will create a random velocity. So if you will listen carefully alone, we are getting the rhythm now. Look, together with open hat. Okay, so now another thing what I like to add is crash. Rename it, Control and R, crash, and let's go for crash. And let's, for example, add this one here. So as you can see, what I did, I select my crash and I drag it here. Before I was using MIDI, but now I add a sample. And here, what we need to do, because I want this to repeat every 8 bars. So what we have to do here, turn on warp section here. And as you can see, my sample is actually starting just here. So here in Ableton is very easy. You need to just right click in here and set 1.1 here. So now now it will start exactly in the beginning. Let's take the volume lower. So our mission is also handling the volume of each element in the mix. We can have kick, which is super, super loud, snare, which is almost, not hearable, and so on and so forth. Everything should be balanced. There are also things like panning. You can also pan. Your, for example, open hat, your close hat, so they will go left, right. Look. That's actually help us make your mix wider. So this is another element of music production which is also important, but I don't want to confuse you in the beginning. Here in the crash, you need to go and click loop. So now every time here you can see the time when it will actually repeat. And I want to add here number 8 and hit enter. So now every time, every 8 bars, this crash will repeat. Okay, so now we have these elements. We can even now take this down, and I will actually add this send here, and I will add delay is another send. So let's bring a little bit more feedback. And now I will blend also delay to my crash. Look. So alone, look, you can actually, another thing I didn't mention here, you can click solo. So you can very easily solo every single channel and listen it alone. But what you need to know is very important to listen the elements actually together, because you can make in solo something which will sound amazing, but in the context, it's not gonna be that good. Okay, so first element is done. Beautiful. Okay, so now second element, which is bassline. So I will actually add bassline here. So I will left click on the kick and I will insert MIDI clip. And here, for example, we can add operator, which is actually instrument of Ableton Live. So here we can make something very, very basic. I will show you very basic bassline. Let's draw 3 notes. I will duplicate. Now I'm hitting Control and D. So I'm duplicating them. So we are on C2. Let's put this on, for example, A1. And now if I will solo it, okay, we have this. So I will do it very, very quickly. Here we can turn off these oscillators. Okay, so I will just take coarse pitch down, which is pitch. So I will lower the sound. Here I will also shorten the sound. So I will put the decay here in about 638, let's say. And you don't need to touch it too much here. Now let's go into filter. Filter is very, very important in sound designing. I will go with filter in about 160. We can, here we have different filters, but here for the bassline, we need low pass filter. Okay, so here I will bring a little bit of resonance and envelope. Let's bring envelope into, I don't know, 67. And now we have this. We have this because it's sine wave. We need to change the waveform. So I will change into so. Now we have kind of, say, Psytrance bassline. Let's bring here on the filter decay longer, like maybe 1/15 second. So together with, if you will now this one is solo. If I will hold control and click here solo, now we will have kick and bass in solo. We have this together. Very, very easy. Look, so now if we have these notes, now it's very, very boring. So we need, for example, let's do, what I do now, I just put these notes higher one in octave. So it's very, very easy in Ableton. If you will select, for example, these and this note, if you will hold shift and hit arrow higher, then you will put this note one octave higher. So now I will select, for example, this note, and I'll also put it higher. So I will do same here and same here. And now we will have something like this. Okay, I will take a little bit lower this. Okay, so we have some very, very basic bassline, and also here is there is very, very nice feature where you can make Goa Trance bassline. If you will take this retrigger off, it means that now phase will start playing from different position of this waveform. And if I will do spread, it's say 22%, we will gonna get this kind of bassline. Okay, so now what I like to do always, it's utility. Let's add utility, and here we need to put bass in mono. But this is something which is more advanced, and you just believe me, just do this and it will be good. And also what I like to do, I want to take this a little bit into narrow. Look, I will turn it off. So now we have something which is much, much better. Okay, I will call it bassline, bass, and we will do now very, very basic sidechain compression, which is very, very important in terms of kick and bass. So sidechain compression is something which help us to bring help to our kick, to have space, because we don't want the same frequencies overlapping each other, because it will create some very bad phasing issue and so on. So that's why, for example, you can hear it if I will fill every single note here. You can feel it. Look. So now we need to make sidechain compression. So here you can go and you can put ratio infinite, maximum. Attack, you can go very fast. Release, you can add an auto. And now you can go and just take threshold down. I forgot about most important thing. You need to click this external. We need to tell our compressor what actually we want to use as a source. So we want kick. So now compressor have information that every time compressor will hit, then it will dock the volume. So you just need to blend it into your liking. If you want something more, let's say radical, you can go like so, and then you just need to bring output back. But I don't like it like so. I like slightly. like so. Okay, so we have first element and second element. All right, so before we going to go into third element, which is melodies, I want to show you how to go actually from session view to arrangement view. All right, because for some reason it didn't record what I was recording yesterday, so I have to do it again. So here, if we have these clips playing, you can hit record, but before we do this, you can choose where you want to start recording this, and it will be good to have also this engaged. So this one, this is actually a feature which allows you to record any automations, but I like to have it all the time engaged. All right, so let's, for example, you can choose 17 bar. So we have, for example, left 16 bars for our intros. You can do it also on 33rd bar. So then we will leave, let's say, 32 bars for our intro. Okay, but we can actually do it from here, 33. And I will now hit record. Okay, so now we have 16 bars. As you can see on the left down corner in Ableton, we're gonna have 16 bars recorded. And if you will, for example, change something here, volume, whatever, and you will hit record, then you will Ableton will record every single change, for example, volume, or you will, let's say, turn a cutoff. So that's why I'm using recording in Ableton very, very often, and it works amazing for creating Goa Trance, especially if I want to do any kind of leads, modulations. I like to hit record, and I like to tweak my MIDI controller. So that's also something which will be very, very handy for you if you want to start making music seriously. Just get some cheap MIDI controller for your music production. All right, guys, so let's jump into third element. If you want to go further, I have very good online course how to create Goa Trance from start to finish, from the beginning to the end, from empty project to ready track for the release. So you can learn sound design, you can learn arrangement, you can learn mix and master just from one course. If this sounds good for you, just check out jaralucastudio.com. Let's come back to the video. Okay, now third element of the track is actually leads, melodies, and harmonies. So what we need, we already have percussion, we already have bass, and now we need to add harmony, we need to bring some melodies. So for example, I chosen my preset from Serum 2. If you are beginner, if you just want to start, if you don't want to spend money, you can basically choose some free VST. I have on my YouTube channel video where I show 8 amazing VST plugins which you can use for free, and just choose some great presets and work with presets. Don't try to do sound design in the beginning of your music production. You can, of course, but I wouldn't do that. If I were start now, I would start with presets. Okay, so I have my preset from my bank Fractalis. I have this MIDI here. I will put it on 0. Okay, so now I will show you some very nice trick, because we can take from Serum, we can add these MIDI files here in Ableton or in other DAW. And now this one, it's on D4, right? Now let me check if it's on. Yes, I need to stop it here. So now if I will play this with my, bassline, which is playing on A Phrygian, it will sound like this. It doesn't sound good. That's why you need to always take care of your notes. If your bass is on A Phrygian or G Phrygian, whatever, you need to make your melodies on the same key as your bassline, and then you will not gonna go wrong. Okay, so I will now select all of them. Here in my MIDI clip, I have selected scale, A Phrygian, and now I can, if I select them by clicking Control and A, I can go lower, and now, as you can see, we have every single note in A, and now everyone is playing on the root note. Okay, I mean the same as our root note. Okay, so this is how you actually can change some MIDI files like so. So you need to be always on your root note, so then you will be safe. Okay, so we have this melody, but now I want to show you how to actually create something like I do here, because I was recording and it didn't record. So let's do some very simple melody just from scratch. So I've chosen another preset from Fractalis on Serum 2 because I really love it. And now I will double click here. So now we have one bar. Left down corner, as you can see, is one bar. And now I'm going to hit. Look, let's add randomly some notes like so, and see with your, for example, with your kick, if you will hold now Control and L, and now you can go. Look, we can do solo on kick, and holding Control, we can do solo on L. So now both of them are selected on solo. Doesn't sound good. So you need to think what to do. We need to move them. Some kind of, rhythm. Let's bring another note. I will stretch it a little bit. Look at this. So now by doing things like this, now we are working, with mistakes, of course, but this is how, melodies are done in in electronic music production if you don't have any music theory. And now I added two notes lower in octave. So now we have A2 and A1. So now you can also, if it doesn't sound good, okay, and now we have some free spaces. You can keep it as it is, but for example, you can try to add something in the scale, like so maybe. Okay, so it's something. So now we can take it and we can stretch it into 8 bars. Now I will take this loop selector, and now we can click here, and now we can listen to an entire fragment of arrangement. And you see, in a Goa Trance, very often we have simple patterns. You can do even just with one bar. They are very repetitive, and easily you can create something. So I also made this kind of melody. So I will change it here and check this out. You can also choose some shortened notes. You can shorten them, you can make them longer. You can just try everything which will work. So there's a lot of possibilities. Okay, and another one, if you, for example, want to learn how to make melodies from scratch, I have very nice masterclass on my store, jaralucastudio.com. I will put the link down below. Okay, so another element for the harmony is for example, pads, synth sounds, and I also took one of my presets from Fractalis. So we have pad, and I create this kind of pads. So check this out here. Look. So these paths are helping us to create some kind of harmony. You can also create this kind of harmony also using Bassline. So for example, what I can do, I will just take this pad very close here. I will see very closely what I should do to create the same. I will try to make the same notes as here. We can do it for many different ways, of course. You can even put these notes, paste them here. So as you can see, I have them here now. I just select them, copy, and I paste them here. So what I can do, I can just select these notes. I hit 0 now, so I deactivating them. And then what we can do, look here, we go into E. This one is actually, let me see. Yeah, it's E and C. C just till here. C. And this one is G. These are on G. G. And here we gonna do similar. As you can see, we have it. And now I will do same thing. So I will just do it much quicker. Let me see. Here was C, and now we have G. So in this place, we need to change it into G. Beautiful. Okay, so another element which is really important, are actually effects. So any kind of sound effects, like for example, some down filters like this, like this. For example, risers. Like sweep noises. Or impacts. So if we have these elements, we can create some kind of arrangement. You also need to think how to place them in arrangement so they will actually make sense. So if we have all these things, I create some short arrangement from this. I also added acid because acid is very, very important in Goa Trance. So I use Faustion too, because I love Faustion. So I create this kind of melody, and then I shorten this melody, and I shorten again this melody, and again I shorten this melody here. So this is actually some more modern style of Goa Trance. But anyway, I want to play for you. I also add the snare roll here to bring some tension. Okay, I did some mixing because I wasn't happy of how this project sounds. So just behind the scenes, I just do some quick mixing, and now this track sounds much better. So that's why you need to, when you're gonna do your music, you need to check on different speakers, different headphones in your car, and so on and so forth. That's why mixing is also another part which is important to learn. But in the beginning, learn, guys, how to create arrangement, how to build the track, and then think about mixing. Okay, let's listen to what I've done. So another very important thing which is actually required from you is to have everything sounds balanced. So we need to take control of the sound, of the volume. Another thing is to fill the full spectrum. For example, you can use Voxengo Span. So you can see now, if I will play it, entire spectrum is full. So if, for example, I will play only kick and bass, you see there are no high frequencies. If I will play only hats, you will see that we have only some mid and high frequencies. So we need to take care of every single frequency. So everything will sound together great. That's why you need to take care of the volume on sound of gain staging of every single track sound in your song, and then it will be great. And thank you very much. I hope this video will help a lot of you, and see you in next video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel, guys, because if you're not gonna subscribe, I'm not gonna get the fuel to make more video like this. Take care and goodbye.